Greens YouTube. Holly Salzman of Albuquerque, New Mexico, had to attend 10 court-ordered sessions with counselor Mary Pepper to resolve a co-parenting conflicts with her estranged husband. Local MRQE reports that the class has a highly religious overtones, which Salzman disagrees with, that she could not get the courts to change the counselor. On her website, Mary Pepper touts herself as an experienced teacher and family counselor without mentioning the religious aspects. However, her activities also include parenting classes for Project Defending Life, a pro-life organization. So that's kind of explicitly religious in nature. The judge sent someone to a counselor with known public declarations of religious behavior before professional conduct. The judge sent someone to see a religious counselor by court order. That's a violation of the First Amendment. Courts can't endorse religions. It's not allowed. The government can't endorse religions. It's not allowed. Now, the court is claiming that there have been a complaint before. That could be legitimate. I mean, there's the possibility that no one has ever complained before because, well, it's the court. The court sent me here. I do what the court says. There's a 70+% chance that the person that was ordered to go to see the counselor is themselves Christian. I've heard recently that it's dropped from 78 to 71% in America. I have no confirmation of that fact. I have just anecdotal information I picked up along the way. But we know it's at least 78%. Could be as low as 71 now. So it's a pretty good shot that the judge could have sent someone there for people there for years, and just always got either someone that was willing to acquiesce to a judge's orders or someone that themselves was Christian, so no one complained. And now we have someone who is complaining because they are not acquiescing to the judge's orders, at least not initially, and they themselves are an atheist. Now, Holly Salzman went through the program, and it became more religiously explicit as the counseling sessions continued, because she wanted to make sure she had access to her kids. So she tolerated exposure to religious indoctrination so that she could have access to her kids. Thankfully, as an adult, she was able to make the choice of not being indoctrinated into a religion. And yet, this still stands. Now, the ACLU is involved. I hope the ACLU is able to dig down all the way through this and find out if there ever actually have been complaints in the past. And if there have, well then, that's a big issue, and that ends up becoming litigious. I hope Holly Salzman is able to sue the living crap out of the court and get this policy eradicated. As far as Mary Pepper, if you're going to be putting yourself forward as a religious counselor, do so. Be honest. Say on your blurb that, you are a counselor with a decidedly Christian slant. Don't hide behind vague wordings and such. So the fact that she helps teach people about a pro-life organization is probably not hiding all that well. Now, someone in the thread below also commented about 12-step programs, and courts a lot of the time force people into 12-step programs. I mean, is it like the majority of people that get sent by courts to programs and go to 12-step programs, and 12-step programs almost always have a religious aspect of having to surrender yourself to a higher power to be able to fully commit to the 12-step program. There is one minor problem, that's that 12-step programs like Alcohol Anonymous, AA, has a 5 to 10% success rate. That's right, 5 to 10% of the time it succeeds. And the other 90 to 95% of the time, it fails. You want to get yourself well, go see a cognitive behavior therapist. Find out what the reasons behind your addiction are, so that you can finally deal with the addiction. Now, my father got lucky. It worked for him. And he's still involved in the AA program. He goes to sessions every single week to help others, because he's been sober for a very long time. But for the most part, these things fail. And a judge that sends someone to an explicitly religious counselor is also failing. they're failing to understand what they're doing is wrong if they never considered it wrong. So I hope the ACLU can get to the bottom of this and we can get all the details eventually, because I'm sure that there are lots of details missing from this report and from the discussion around it at this point. But these kind of things do take place. Judges do make decisions based on their personal religious beliefs, which is horrible, but it happens. And they don't seem to understand that imposing their religious worldview is a violation of the First Amendment. Though it does make me wonder, what kind of a law school did a lawyer go to that they failed to have an understanding of how the amendments function in our Bill of Rights, how the Constitution functions? You'd think that that would be like lawyering 101, but maybe it's how to sue doctors for malpractice. I don't know.